Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. Wasn't gonna do a video today, but I really had nothing to do, so I thought, well, I'll start digging around and see if I can find something to film. No engine yet for the patio currently. Still waiting on that one. It is currently being bored. They have not finished it yet. It will be back here soon though. So be ready for that. Got the motor back into the 68. It's running again. The reason I had it pulled apart was because I needed to put new rings in it. It had made a great video, but by the time I started digging into it, it was too late. I had already put it back together. Runs again. Doesn't burn as much oil. It has been starting to blow oil out. As you can see down below, there's a puddle. It's not leaking. It's blowing it out the blow-by tube, so I'm going to have to start looking into it again. It was doing it before, but it was a lot worse than what it's doing now. It always would leave a puddle of oil underneath of it, but not that bad. So I'm going to have to start digging into it. I have checked it. It's not overfilled with oil. Other tractors have been doing fine. The 216 and the 73 have been running great. So started digging around and thinking, I need something to film. Now you're probably going to wonder why I decided to do this. It's the dead of winter. It's almost a 30, I think it's 20 something outside. It's snowing. And actually there is snow on the ground. I will show you guys. It's kind of cold in here. There is snow on the ground. Let me clean off that lens real quick. That probably looks a whole bunch better. So what I was saying before is it's the dead of winter, and you're probably wondering why I have a little mower in here. I figured spring is right around the corner. It is January. March is usually when spring starts. So I figured what we could go on ahead and start doing is we could start tearing into some mowers and getting them going again. Here's one. I have not tried pulling it over yet. I haven't messed with it or anything. I figured we'll make a video out of it. It's had the oil changed beginning of last season. Gas is drained out of it, so it really shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm trying to think of what all I've done to it. Other than that, it's the same as where I left it before. Have not tried pulling it over yet. Have not opened it. Have not checked the oil. Have not messed with it. I figured I'd make a video out of all that. So let's go on ahead and start. Let me put you guys in the stand. I'll put this thing on the lift and we will go on ahead and start tearing into it. Alright, so now since we have it up on the lift, let's go on ahead and check the oil. Let me grab a rag here real quick so I can do that. Let's go on ahead and check this and see where we are at. I was hoping it wasn't turning that whole dipstick. Oh good, okay. I would say we are a little bit over. Actually doesn't look half bad. It looks almost new. I didn't use it very much last season. I used that other one that I had picked up, the little green one, so I think this oil might. Can you guys even see it? I would say it looks pretty damn good. So, get that off there. I think what we're gonna do, I'm almost tempted to drain it. That's new oil though, I did change it. I almost wonder when I changed it now. I didn't use it very much last season, so I'm wondering if, it's not showing any color, it looks new. I think we might, I'm tempted just to go on ahead and change it to play it safe, but if the oil in it's good, so I think what we might do, we'll put some a little bit of two-stroke in the cylinder and we'll pull it a little bit just to let the cylinder kind of get wet again, although this is one of the vertical shaft engines, so the oil's already in the cylinder, so I don't really think we need to worry about doing that. We'll do it anyway. Now with the other motors, the horizontal motors you do, let me go on ahead and I'll take you to the other side. We can check the air filter out. I'm thinking now I probably should change that oil just to say that I changed it, but whoa. Okay, that ain't good. Oh, come off. There we go. Okay, it appears the air box is loose. There we go. We got one. It's putting up a fight. There we go. Oh, that air filter looks clean. I would say it's got a little bit of oil right there. I'm guessing that's from when I had tipped it over at one point. Not a whole lot there. I would say if we went ahead and just blew this out, it's not wet. Wipe it off with the towel and we'll go on ahead, and I want to try to see about tightening down that air filter, see where it's loose. I don't think it is anymore. Just wipe off some of this dirt around the edge. It looks clean. I got a new air filter in the cabinet. I don't. I probably stuck it in something. I would say this is probably clean enough. We could go on ahead and reuse it. There's no oil or anything in it. Like I did say, it wasn't used very much. I had used it for a while. I did put a new air filter in it. I used it for a while and then started using the other mower. Oh, it's got one of these filters in it, that's why. Let's check this. Yeah, see? I was wondering why there was nothing in that air filter. It's got one of these filters. Let me blow this out real quick with the air compressor and I will be back. As I'm back, I decided to go on ahead and blow this filter out too. Nothing really came out of it, but it seemed clean. I also blew this out in the air box. It looks fairly clean, so I guess we'll go on ahead and put this filter back in because it looks alright. If you notice, I flipped it around. I have it upside down. There we go. Alright. No gas in it. I ran it out. Let's go on ahead and check for spark. Put you guys up here on the lift. Yes, that was a compressor that you guys heard. I'm shortening your legs right now. Give me that. I'm crushing you down so I can put you up on the table. Don't want to put you in the oil. There we go. Let's move this over. Alright, let's go on ahead. Pull that spark plug cover off. We'll check it for spark along with where's the flathead? There it is. Alright guys, I'm back. Let's go on ahead and pull this spark plug boot off of here. Kind of miss the old style ones like what my tractors have on them. There we go. I don't really like this new style spark plug boots. It's not as easy to get off as the older ones are. Let's take that out. It'll tell us how it's running. I think it's the same size as the ones for the tractors. It should be, it might be a smaller one actually. Got a much smaller one, we'll try it and see. If it's not this one, then it's the same size as those. No, it appears it's bigger. Really quick, I want to see if it's this one or not before I assume. Alright, it's this one. Let's get... I need an extension. Alright you guys, I couldn't find my extension. I thought it was in the drawer. It might be on another ratchet somewhere. I don't see it. So let's go on ahead. I guess we'll just make do with what we've got. Oh, we can get it. That's why they put warranties on stuff. They don't want you to know how to fix your own equipment. When it breaks, they want you to take it to them, and they make all the money off you for it. Yeah, it's coming out. I wonder how much bigger it is than those. Let's see. Oh, it's about the same. It's got a lot of oil residue on it. It's pretty wet. Shouldn't be, unless oil's getting into it. It looks good up around here. I would say Not sure what to say on this one. Looks like it's running good, but it looks like some oil's been getting into it. Let me go on ahead and I'll clean this up. You guys are seeing it, right? You can't really see it as well as I can. It looks good, but it looks like some oil may have been getting into it. Let me go on ahead and clean this plug off real quick. Took the plug out and I gapped it. I also cleaned it. It looks a lot better than it did. So let's go on ahead and stick it in the boot and let's check it for spark. That's going to be a pain to pull out of there now. Trying to find a metal surface. I want to turn it so you guys can see it. And I'll also shut off the light. Let's tuck it right there. Can you guys see that? We'll zoom in on it. I'll have to go back and watch the video to see if it did or not. Let's see if we got spark. I'm thinking we do, but what's the best way of doing this? Here we go. We'll pull this off of here and then alright, ready? Alright, let me get this out. It's not coming out yet because I need it. Alright, ready? Let's see. I can't tell. One more. Oh, okay, yeah, it's got spark. I could see it that time. Okay. Looked like I had pretty good spark too. Let's try it again. Oh, it's got... I would say it's kind of on the weak side. I'm almost tempted to pull the cover off and clean up the points. It looked a shade bit on the low side, but I think it might be okay. Let's go on. I'm not fixing this for anybody. This is my mower, so go on in and I'll pull this back off of here. We'll pull it over a little bit just to check it. Just so I don't have any compression fighting me while I'm pulling it over. We can check it and just let it clear itself up. I would say that's probably good enough. Let's go on ahead and put the spark plug back in it, and then we can check it once we get the plug in it. Can you guys see still? Oh, you're zoomed. Whoops. I forgot about that. Let's go on ahead and get this tightened back down, and then we should be able to throw the boot back on it and hope. I'm almost tempted to pull that carburetor off and clean it, or check it and make sure that there's no stuff left in it. I don't think there is. I don't want to mess with it either, because as soon as I do, the gaskets are going to be leaking and having problems. That's probably tight enough. You don't want to strip your threads. There we go. Look at that. Alright, ready? Go on there, you bastard. There we go. Alright. Let's dump some two-stroke, a little bit of two-stroke fuel into here. We'll pull the air filter out, dump a little bit, and make sure it starts up. We might lower this down just a shade to do that. I want to make, well, we know it's going to start, but Dump a little bit of two-stroke in. It wouldn't hurt to do it. Let me lower you guys down just a little bit. So that when I go to pull on it, in case it tries to run, when I say run, I mean the self-propel tries to drive itself. I'm not gonna, you guys are going down if you don't notice. Just in case if it tries to run away from me. When I say run away, I mean the self-propel. It'll, brake seems to work. If it tries to run off the bench, it's not going to have so much of a pain in the ass. It's not going to fall and break itself. It's going to, I can hold on to it and it won't go anywhere. Let me put this back on here. We'll pull the blade off next and sharpen it. And then once we pull the blade and sharpen it, make sure it's not getting into the recoil. There we go. That's about where I had it before. I don't want that hitting the recoil spring, because that's a big no-no. I'm going to try to pull it, make sure it hits. Perfect. We'll pull the blade off of it here in a minute. We'll go underneath of it, we'll coat it, and I'm not going to... I used to go under them, wire wheel them out, and paint them, but it's a little bit cold in here right now to paint, and I don't have any paint. Well, I do have some paint, but I'm saving that for the patio if I need to repaint anything. Alright, let me grab my two-stroke. Let's go on ahead and dump it in here. Why the cover seems so loose. I would dump some gas in it, but I want to make sure that it'll run. It feels like it has compression, but I want to make sure that it'll run that end. Bad idea. Don't want to put too much in it, just enough to... Go. That's about enough. I need to get one of those tubes. A bottle with a tube. Make it a little bit easier on me. If you know who Musty One is, that's what he's got. I need to get one of them for me and use it out here. I think it'd come in handy. There we go. Alright. That's got the two-stroke in it. Let's go on ahead and try it. See how it does. If it'll fire up or not. Should do it outside. One more. Cool. A little bit smoky. The smoke is to be expected. That's from the two-stroke oil. Let me try it again. Cool. I think what we'll do is the camera's dying. I'm going to put it outside and I'm just going to let it run, and then we'll bring it back in and we'll check the blades. I'm going to put about half a tank of gas in it, and then we'll just let it sit there and run, just to help it. What am I thinking? Just to help it make the oil move around a little bit, warm it up. We might change it here later, so it'll help me decide whether to change it or not. So let me go on ahead and do that, and then put you a new battery, and I'll be back. Filled it up with gas. Let's go on ahead and try it and see if it'll start. Winter. Ready? That's not good. I don't have a shut-off switch on there. there's no primer on it either. It's one of those electric primes. Not electric, it's primes itself. Let's try it again. Well, I think we might have to do some carburetor cleaning. What do you guys think? I was hoping it'd fire right up. Let me do some more playing with it and see if I can get it to start. I'll be back. So I currently have the ultrasonic cleaner warming up. I was not able to get the end motor to start, so we're just going to go on ahead and pull the carburetor off of it. I was going to do that anyway. So it's a 10mm bolt nut. Let's go on ahead and pull this off of here. Seems pretty loose. I got the ultrasonic cleaner warming up right now, so probably by the time I get this done, it should be warmed up. I dump hot water in mine before I start it up just so it heats it up quicker. I've seen people leave theirs run and they say that having it run helps warm it up. I've just always stuck hot water in it and then turned it on. That's been my way of doing it. And just let it finish warming up. Alright. I was really expecting it to have one of those plastic carburetors. Kind of surprised it doesn't. Okay. We're gonna pull that gasket actually. So we gotta pull this linkage out of here. What do you guys think? Should we try starting it up again? Now that the cover's off of it, it might decide to try and start. Let's see. I'm really curious. No. Okay. So let's go on ahead and get this off here. Unzip my coat real quick. Okay. So we gotta pull these linkages out of here. This one's gotta come out. I remember how this goes. Not like that, right? I can look back at the camera and find out how it was. We'll set it. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now we'll remember. Okay, so what do you want to do next? Let's go on ahead and we will pinch off the fuel line, not air line, fuel line. It's nice that it's not stiff. Don't want to be too tight, but you don't want to be too loose. There we go. All right. This little clamp on right there. Oh boy, here's the question. Yep, there was gas going through, so okay. Look at that little carburetor. Put that right there just in case if it leaks anymore. Oh, that gasket looks like it's been torched. Put it like that so I remember. Alright, let's go ahead and take this over to the bench and start tearing into it. so we got the carburetor sitting here on the bench right now. Let's go on ahead and start tearing into it. It had fuel in it, so I know that it was getting fuel. Let me grab a wrench. I'm not sure what size this is. I'm guessing it's probably gonna be, yeah, it's probably gonna be a 7/16. Let's see if it is. It might be a little bit bigger. No, smaller. Alright. Let's try a 3/8. It's too small. It's too small. That's the smallest one I've got. Wait a minute. Here we go. Let's try this one. 10 millimeter, same as what was holding it on there. Yep, there we go. Don't want to go too violent on it. Am I turning it the right way even? Wow, that bastard's on there tight. Jesus Christ. Oh, look at that. How does that bowl look? Doesn't appear. So it had gas in it. Great. That looks clean. So, wasn't water sitting in it. I almost wonder if we were to blow it out with compressed air, I wonder if it would clean it. Because it really doesn't look bad at all, like there was anything in it. Wipe this off real quick. We've got the cleaner warming up right now. We might as well just clean it. Let me go on ahead and I will start pulling it apart. Get everything sit down on here. What's going off? I can't tell if... Where's the idle and throttle screw at? Never really messed with one of these carburetors before, I'm not sure. I don't think the throttle is adjustable on this. No, okay, well, need a small enough flathead to get in there. I think we got one. That's a Phillips. Let me see. Start doing some digging. You want to be careful because that's just brass in there. I know I had one. Here it is, right here. Small screwdriver. I think that might be small enough to... Yep. Don't want to strip it. There we go. Or did we just strip it? No. See if we can get that main jet out of there. Without damaging it. Oh, it's stuck. It's got to catch the threads. What is it? There we go. What else? I know there's something else on this, most likely, that needs to come off. I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing anything else, but most likely, oh, the gasket needs to come out. That's a for sure must. Because if I don't pull that gasket, it's going to bubble and get too big, and then it's going to start leaking. It's going to leak like a bitch when I go to put it back together. So let me get this gasket out of here. Luckily, it's new enough so it's not going to be dried up. Being careful. I don't want to rip it. I want to try to save it, because we're going to try to reuse it. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Doesn't look bad though. It really surprises me that it didn't start. Oh yeah, that, I think that jet's clogged. Yeah, it's clogged. I can see it. Those holes are so damn small. I do have a some what are they called? Welder cleaners. The little brushes. I do have some of them. I don't think they're small enough to go in there, but we'll find out. Let me go on ahead and I will let the cleaner finish warming up, and I'll put the battery back on the charger and run in the house for a little bit. I will be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and took the carburetor and I went out there and I blew it out with the air compressor before I figured I'll better do that before I throw it in there. I've just got, if you're wondering what I'm using, I just have some cheap dish soap in there. We're going to see if that floats. Here's it does. So it didn't sink. That's good. Cool. Alright. So we will let the soup cook, and we will come back when it's done. Alright, so we just finished cleaning the carburetor. Let's go on ahead and pull it out. That feels nice. We are going to clean it up real good before we start putting it together, for anybody who's wondering. Let's go on ahead and take it over to the, let me go up front real quick and I'll wash it off good, and then, well, we'll rinse it off and then we'll spray it with the air hose. So I will be right back. I brought it over here so I could sit down and work. One thing you could do also, if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner or a air compressor, I blew it out with the air compressor, but there's these little wire brushes. They're welding. They're called welding cleaners, welder cleaner tips. You use them to clean the stuff out of your welder. Or if you don't have one of them, you could grab a paper clip, or you could grab one of your girlfriend's hair, what are those called? I forget. You can grab one of your girlfriend's hair tie, not hair ties, one of those, I can't remember what it's called, but you take one of them. These are your tip cleaners. You take your cleaner, or you can even use a paper clip if you have one small enough. And you're going to take your main jet. This in here, I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. This is your main jet. This right here. So you're going to take your main jet, your smallest one, you're going to slide it in to your main jet. Now I know mine is clean because I cleaned it with the cleaner and then I blew it real good with compressed air. So I know mine is clean. But even if you have a small drill bit, you could stick it in there. See, I know mine's clean. it's going right through with no problem. You gotta twist it a little bit, but that's normal. Then I'm gonna do it same thing on this side. On this hole, you kind of get the idea probably of what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna poke it through each hole. I can see through each of these holes, but I'm just gonna do this to make sure I get every little bit out. Now these small holes right here, I don't have one to go through the really small holes. But I know those are clean because I could see through them earlier. I did check before I started doing this. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. Just kind of poking through all the little holes in the main jet. I need to... There we go. Alright. We already poked one through the bottom. Let me look and see if I have a smaller one. Here we go. This one might go through. We'll see. No, it won't. I mean, I thought I had a smaller one, but let's try this one. Oh well. I thought I did, but I guess I don't. So now we'll run one of these brushes through real quick and make sure that we get this main jet cleaned. I'm going to clean some spots on the carburetor too. You'll see when I do them. Right up through here. Like that. Out the other side. There you go. That's clean. I would run it through these little ones, but I'm not going to worry about them. I know they're clean. Then we'll run it through here. Also, if we can get it through there now. Let's grab our thing again and poke it through. I can see through this. I just don't have one small enough to go up in there. This one's bent. I'm going to have to try to straighten that back out. Might try sending one through this side instead. Appears I don't have one small enough to go through there. Maybe this one will. No, it won't. But you guys probably get the idea. That hole is kind of small if you can see it. So, let's go on ahead and put these back in here. And let's get this carburetor put back together. Now since we have it, since we know it's cleaned up real good. Move you guys over here. What we'll do since we have it, let's go on ahead and clean. I know this surface is clean, so because I cleaned it real good and made sure. Another thing that you guys could do, if you have some brake cleaner and you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, you could spray it down real good with some brake cleaner. That might clean it up for you. I don't have any brake cleaner around here, but if I did, then I would clean that out real good. Make sure that you get everything out. Everything should be out of it if you stuck it through your ultrasonic cleaner, but I'm just showing you the way to do it if you don't have one. This will go up all the way through. Yep. The main jet goes right up here. Your fuel goes up through here, same with your air from your air filter, and it goes out. That goes into your motor and ignites. And that's how it works. So let's go ahead and get this carburetor put back together. It should be pretty simple. It comes apart about the same as it goes together. Just reverse what you did. And as long as you remember how to put it back together, you're all set. What way does this go in? I don't remember. I think it goes that way. Pretty sure. Yeah. I might have it in upside down. We'll find out later though. Alright. Now we'll slide the main jet in. You guys see? Yeah. Now we'll tighten it in. You don't want to cross thread. That's important to not do, is cross thread. I think I just cross threaded. There we go. Now it's going in just fine. This is brass, so you really want to be careful with it. There we go. Now that's tight. Now we can put our gasket back in. I've done videos before on putting carburetors together. So if you don't know how to put your carburetor together, you can go watch one of them. I go into a little bit more depth. So now we'll stick our main jet in. Main jet along with our float. What the float does, the float controls the needle. That's your needle. That's your needle and seat right there. This comes up, same with your needle. That lets fuel into the carburetor. When it goes up like this, it doesn't let fuel in anymore because your carburetor isn't requesting fuel. That's the simple way of putting it. There's a better way to explain it. That's just always been my way of explaining how it works. I'm not very good at explaining. I have to show how it works. So I'm not going to bore you guys with an explanation of how that works. There we go. Alright. So now it's all put together. Now I got to put the bowl on. And then once, make sure there's no water in there. Nope. So now, once we get this stuck on there, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to have this bowl on. Once we get it put back in there, tighten this down, we should be all good to go. I do have another carburetor I'm going to throw in the cleaner since I have it warmed up. Wasn't going to, but I guess I will. I get it on there nice and tight so that you don't want to strip it, but you want to have it tight so it's not going to leak. There you go. That's probably about tight enough, because I've seen people not tighten them down and they're always a bitch when you got to go in there and replace the gaskets and tighten them down. So let's go on ahead and we'll throw this back on the little mower, and then there we go. If I hooked it up right, it'll work. Let's get our fuel line hooked back on here. Probably should have hooked that up first. Alright, make sure there's nothing in there. I'll pull this. I don't want to get any gas everywhere. That's kind of the point. There we go. Here's our clamp. Just put the clamp on there. Perfect. So now, I'm looking around to make sure there's no fuel shut off that I might have missed, because I don't want to find a fuel shut off on there when I go to put it back together. That'll really suck. Alright, so we've got this put on there. There's your gasket. It's inside of there. There's a cutout for it. I put it in the cutout. So hopefully, I'm not seeing any gas leaking, so that's good. I'm hoping that gas is even getting in. I put the float in there, right? Yeah. I'm hoping the gas is actually getting into it and not being stuck. That kind of worries me now that I think about that. I should probably pull it back apart and look. There we go. Is that on there right? Yeah, okay. Where are those bolts? I keep calling them bolts. They're actually called nuts. There we go. Let's go on and get them tightened on there. Nice and good. Considering dumping some two-stroke in, not into the gas tank, but into the down the throat of the carburetor, and making sure that it'll fire up before I go over and try pulling it. Let's just go on ahead and see if it'll start. Let me put the filter back on it in case if it does. Blew it out so there is no water in it, if anybody's wondering. If you're wondering what I used, I stuck some dish soap in there, just off-brand dish soap. I've seen it on other YouTube channels where people show their mix they use in their ultrasonic cleaners. I'm just trying that out with it. So let me go on ahead. We will see if this will start or not. I'm going to lower the forks a little bit so I can catch it in case it tries to run. Alright, you guys ready? How many of you want to bet it's not going to start? I do. That'd have been cool if it started up first pull. Look at that. That surprises me. I actually put that together and it started up. Nice. All right. So, as you saw, it started up. It started right up. Not first pull, but second pull. Let's see if it'll start back up again. Ready? Cool. All right, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go on ahead and sharpen that blade. Trying to think if there's anything else we need to do before that. I don't think so. Alright, let's go ahead and flip it over. When you flip it over on the exhaust side. If you flip it over on the intake side, you're going to get oil in your air box and it's going to be hell. I've done it before and I regret it. So, whoops, I just screwed with the tripod. That's better. Let me go on ahead and I will do that quick. Get my tools ready and everything off the bench. For those of you who are wondering what I used, I put dish soap in there, just off-brand dish soap I got from Walmart. The Walmart branded. I'm actually really surprised that it worked. I didn't think it would run again after doing that. That's really just about all that stuff is good for, I guess. So, alright, let's go ahead and we will get this blade out of here. That blade is loose. Spark plug is disconnected for those of you wondering. No, I didn't forget. No, I didn't forget to unhook the spark plug. Alright. Let's go on ahead. Here's how I do it. When I go to pull a blade off, stick a piece of wood in there, wedge it like that, and it won't go nowhere. Watch. See? Should come like off. Honestly, that really surprises me that the damn thing fired up. I thought once I pulled that carburetor off, I was done. Huh. Wow. Alright. This is for, if you're wondering what this bracket is, this is for when you use the self-wash. This right here is your mower deck blade, and this one actually looks pretty damn sharp. We'll go on ahead and sharpen it though, just to say we did it. Now personally, I would use a grinder, but I think today we're going to use this because I haven't used it in a while and I need to run it a little bit. So let's go on ahead and try it. That's sharp enough. Alright, so another way that you can do it if you don't have a grinder or if you don't have one of those belt sanders, what you can do is you can grab a file, and if you tell me you don't have a file, I don't know what to tell you. You take a file, I can't remember what way this file does it. You don't need to have that to sand or file. I think it's this way. Go like that. I think it's this way. You don't want to go both. Let me see. I can't really tell. Well, I think the sander did a good job, but that's another way you can do it. You can do it with a file. I don't remember what way that file goes. That file is kind of rusty, so that's another way you can do them. I like to have mine razor sharp when I sharpen them to the point where they cut your finger open. If you run them on like this, I didn't run my finger along it because I don't want to shortcut it, but that's how I usually have them. Alright, so I went over to the grinder and I went on ahead and I sharpened the blades. I didn't trust the sander, so I went over there to the grinder and I did it. I almost was tempted to wire wheel the blades down, but I didn't really think it would be necessary, so I just left them alone. What we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're going to stick them. I think I have it right. Let me make sure. You don't want to have the blade upside down. It's kind of hard to tell with these blades if you have them upside down or not. Yeah, I have it up. Okay, I have it right. The way to tell is they have these little wings on them. Some of them do, some of them are flat. But they have little wings that help move the grass out the chute. And if you have the blade upside down, it's going to cut into the grass. I've had a blade get bent on one of my mowers before. I found that out the hard way as I sat there and tried figuring out why the thing why it was cutting into the grass. Now keep in mind, when this happened, I was not as skilled as I am today, nor was I as smart. I was kind of dumb. The first mower I ever pulled apart, for anybody who's wondering, I was 9 or 10 years old when I pulled apart my first engine. I'll put a picture of it on the screen if I'm able to find it. I know there's a picture of it somewhere. But my first motor that I ever pulled apart, I was not very old. I think 9 or 10 is how old I was when I first pulled that motor apart. It actually wasn't a lawnmower. It was an old go-kart motor. It was a Honda something engine. It was a Honda, that's all I remember. And something was wrong with it. When I think about it now, I think it was just a carburetor related issue. It could have been easily fixed. But that motor, it would throttle up and run away. It just had a whole bunch of problems with it. If I remember correctly, it had rod knock. So I know the one issue with it was fuel related, but it was getting old. It was a tired motor. This, that, and the other thing was wrong with it. I don't exactly remember. I was 10 years old at the time. I didn't know much about it. So, yeah. All right, let's think away from that. All right, so we got the blade sharpened and put back on there. Let's go. I'm debating on whether I want to wire wheel it out. You could also sandblast it if you got a sandblaster. I do, but I don't really want to set it up and get it ready. I have one of those sandblasters. It's just a gun. It's not in a cabinet. I could sandblast this out if I wanted to, and I don't want to. And my paint is frozen right now. I do not have heat. So let's go on ahead. Now keep in mind, I am not complaining about that. There we go. Alright, let me go on in. I will set the mower down. We'll take it outside and we'll let it run for a while. Maybe I would say 20. We'll just let it burn up what gas is left in it. Alright. Alright, let's go on ahead and try starting this thing up and see if it'll fire up. Ready? Pour it over. Here we go. Oh, great. Well, it's got gas in it, right? Gas in it. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Well, remember to hook your spark plug back up before you try running an engine. I know I will. Let's try that again. Now will it start? When I was little, what I used to do is I'd take the push mower out and I'd mow around when there was snow on the ground, and I'd use it as a snow blower. I was little. Let's see if we can blow snow. I might have to lower the deck down a little bit. Shield fell out, so the snow's coming out the back. If it wasn't for that, it would be blowing snow. Alright, you guys, that one's sitting out there running right now. I figured I'd bring another one in since I had the ultrasonic cleaner warmed up. We were wrong on the wrong side. What's it called is actually on this side, the air filter. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into this one too. This is the one, if you don't remember, the one I did the oil change on and a few other things with. This has been my main mower and it's actually been doing pretty good. This one's the style that I prefer. I prefer the flatheads over the overhead valves, like what that other mower is. But it seems they've both been doing pretty good, so I've just been using them both. That one kind of sat, so that's probably why it was all gummed up. But yeah, it didn't look half bad inside, but yeah, judging by that air filter, I think we're gonna need a new one. I did clean it last summer, so yeah, lucky I got another one I can throw up in it. Alright, here's that new air filter I grabbed. As you can see it is brand new. It got some dust in it. I'm going to have to wipe it off. But, yeah. This is prime. This doesn't have a choke. Let's go on ahead and throw the filter in it. See if it'll start back up. Well, let's see if it'll start up and we won't have any issues with it. I'm kind of hoping we do since we have the cleaner warmed up. Although now, I should have warmed that up earlier. Because now, I'm going to have no problem with this one. Where if I'd have warmed it up earlier, that one would have started right up. I don't have a problem with... Is it going to fit? There we go. There it wants to go. There we go. Alright. Let's dump some gas. Actually, you know what? Let's check the spark plug and let's check the oil also. Let me grab my spark plug puller. Go over the other side. We got the cleaner warmed up right now, so I think it's starting to run out. If you don't hear it, it's running out right now. Supposedly has a brand new. Whoa. I think the rings in this might be replaced. It looks like it's been running oil. I haven't tried pulling it over yet either. This is what the plug looks like. I think it's running a little bit rich. you wipe it off real quick and I'll get the wire wheel and I'll clean it up real good and then we'll try it out. I would say that plug looks a lot healthier now and happier. Alright, I cleaned it up and I gapped it. Let's go on ahead and put it in. Actually, let's check for spark here first before we throw it in. I'm going to get a spot where you guys can see it. I don't want it close to there just in case if something comes out. I think it should have spark. I think it's right there is a good spot. Grab my vice grips. We'll put them on there so they can hold down the handle. I'm almost tempted just to go on ahead and clean this one up since we have the gears on. Probably wouldn't hurt. That carb looked like it needed adjusted anyways. There we go. Alright. Let's go on ahead. There we go. I got my ways. Alright, let's go on ahead. Try to get a good view of that plug. I wish there was another spot that I could put it so you guys could see it better. Just bring it around. Right there. Hell, that's perfect. Let me move. Oh, you guys can see. Alright, let's go on ahead and try pulling her over. Spark? I couldn't see. Seems to have spark. Not a very good one, like what the other one had, but let's go on ahead. Usually, when I'm judging spark, here we go, I got it. Usually when I'm judging spark, if you see when you spark it, or when you're pulling it, and the sparks are jumping around, they jump off the plug and go everywhere. That's how you know when you have good spark. That plug is kind of questionable. I'm tempted to just go on ahead and replace it, but I think we should be okay. It seems. Let me go on in. Let's pull it over a little bit. Disconnect. Let's go ahead and pull it over just a little bit to let the oil get to it. What I'm going to do different for this one, it has a different style air filter. I'm going to tip it up. And I'm going to dump some two-stroke down the head of it. Stick it up on This is a little bit risky. We're going to set it up. There we go. Just like now it wants to roll. This is how I should have done it. No, it still wants to go. Let me grab a. There we go. I didn't think of using this. Here's a piece of wood. Let's check the oil. We'll check it. Doesn't look bad under there compared to when I first saw it. Perfect. We got it. All right, let's go on ahead and we'll put some fuel down the head of it. guys up here so you can see it. I don't want to shake it too much. Right there. Alright. Let's dump a little bit in here. Tempted to grab my funnel. Let's grab the funnel. Usually when I feel tempted to grab something, it's not a bad idea, so I'll just go grab it. There we go. Alright, let's go on ahead. We'll dump a little bit in. That's it, that's enough. You don't want to dump too much because it'll start going out the air cleaner and go everywhere else you don't want it to go, so. Luckily on this one, the air cleaner is not on bottom, it's on top. Now depending on where the cylinder, where the valves are, I'm guessing right here are the valves, here's the piston because the spark plug is usually right on top of the valve. So I'm guessing that's the valves and here's the piston, which is not a very big piston if you ask me. Or valve, I've seen bigger. I'm tempted just to replace this plug. It doesn't look good to me. Alright, let's go on ahead. Sit down. I'll bring you guys down too so you can see. Put you back on the ground. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to... My tripod must be screwed. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and check the oil. And we're going to see how the oil is looking so far. Grab the rack. Let's go on ahead. We'll let that oil soak in there. Actually, I would say that would be pretty good compared to some that I have seen. That looks... that's dry. It appears it has been burning oil. I'm going to touch the side again. Well, it appears it has been burning oil. Okay. So, I guess what we'll go on ahead and do is we'll put some more oil in it. Well, I guess I said earlier it needed new rings. I shouldn't have said anything. Let's go on ahead and top it off real quick. There's not really enough oil in there to drain. There's not at all enough oil in there to drain, so if I was to try and drain it now, it just would be kind of a waste. So let me go on ahead and I'll just top it off. Don't want to make a mess with the funnel. I don't want to make a mess. I think that should be enough. Assuming that I have the drain plug on the outside, that's not my problem. That should work. Hopefully. That should be full enough. Yep. Perfect. We got her. check it. I think I overfilled it. Never mind, I didn't. Okay. Check it once more. Yeah, okay. It's got enough oil. It's a little bit over, but the little bit over it is, it's not going to hurt it. Let's go on ahead and try it, see if it fires up. Let me move you back. I did dump oil and gas in it, 2-stroke mix. No, I don't have the thing to push. No, I don't. Nope. Alright, let's go on and put some gas in it. We're not going to put a lot of gas in it. And then we will try to start it again. Alright, let's go on ahead. If it's running oil, most likely it will need a new motor. Well, there we go, that's about enough to. Alright, I just want to put enough in there so it'll start up. These flatheads tend to be gas guzzlers. I've got it. This doesn't have a self-propel on it, so I don't have to worry about it flying. Let's go ahead and see if it almost did. It'll smoke like that for a while until it's just getting fired up after a while. It's also got some oil on it. So let me go on ahead and I will put it outside and fire it up like I did the other one, and it should be running here soon. Alright, so both those mowers are currently out there running. For those of you who are wondering what that smoke was from, my little exclamation earlier didn't make any sense to me, so I'm gonna make a new one. What it is the 2-stroke has oil in it. The 2-stroke gas, that's what I put in there. It's burning off the oil that was in there, left over from the gas. Once all that is burned off, it'll quit smoking, but that's normal. For anybody who's wondering, that's normal for it to do that after running 2-stroke. Alright, I'm going to go on ahead and stop the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Hopefully, next video will be of the patio, but we'll see. I figured really quickly I would make a question for you guys. Who would be interested? I haven't used it in a while. It's been sitting for about a year. Who'd be interested in seeing this thing run again? Me try to get this run. I think the oil in it's new. I'm not sure about the spark plugs. I'm not sure about the filter. I haven't really messed with it. Once I started getting the John Deere's and using them, I kind of quit using it. So yeah, I do have a tractor designed only for mowing. For anybody wondering, and no, it is not a Deere. So, let me know if you guys are interested, and I will put it, I'll take it over there to the shop, and we will start working on it. Until then, later guys.